Alright, and here is the deck that I built last week, Ishai Esior. It's a pretty straightforward control deck. Slam Ishai as quick as possible with Esior some backup protection, and then you just control the game while your opponents just keep building up Ishai. It was alright. Not my favorite deck that I've built and played, but Ishai is pretty effective flying, just keeps growing bigger. I did toss some equipments into this deck. We'll go over some of those basic, pretty pretty standard Voltron, because this is a Voltron Control deck. But well, it was all right. Let's go. I'm going to start off with my rocks. I have Sapphire and Pearl Medallion. While I don't consider these rocks, they do drop the cost of my spells, so same difference. Mox Jeweled Lotus came into play in a couple games, dropping Ishai on turn 1. Really, really valuable. Some pretty standard ramp. Just making sure we can drop Ishai as quick as humanly possible so our opponents can start growing him. Here we have Commander's Plate starting off our equipment package, giving it protection from everything but blue and white's not bad. Sword of Truth and Justice, Sword of Feast and Famine, Sword of Fire and Ice. Just a really decent all around utility for their effects and just good overall coverage for colors. Umezawa's Jite, Batter Skull. This one was by far the best grafted exoskeleton. Just being able to put this onto Ishai and just one-shot people. It was great. Killed a few people this way. And yeah, Infect is powerful. So exoskeleton was great. And Lightning Greaves. Those are the equipments I ran. Let's dive into the spells. I don't think there are really many that were stand out. Again, this is a pretty typical control list. So here we've got Veto, Raveler, Revelation, Reparations. I like this card. Unfortunately, it never came into play in the games that I played in, and specifically because there's very little single target removal for the people that I play against. They're more often to just wipe the board. So reparations, good, but not for my group. I did play board wipes of my own because it's pretty easy to just ramp a bunch. And if the board gets out of control, wipe the board, recast Ishai, and just start letting my opponents rebuild him up to a dangerous threat. Ojutai, Teferi, just utility. Here we have some more protection. Giver, Mother, some little bit of removal, just general protection. Armored Skyhunter, I like the concept of. I've seen him put to pretty good use, but I've never. This was the first deck I played him in, and I never did cast him. So, but I did only play 5 games with this deck. Fumigate, Austere Command. Moving into blue spells here. Siren Storm Tamer, Dispel, Remora, Turn Aside, Swan Song, Miscast. Like I said, this is a control deck. Mana Drain, Pull, Snappy. Tail's End, just being able to stop a Planeswalker ultimate, keep someone from casting their commander early game. Pretty decent. Negate. Oh man, look at that art. I really like that art. Such a pretty artwork. Counterspell. Pretty standard. Kira Great Glass Spinner, got her out a couple games. She's a little tricky because of the equipments. You'd have to activate them twice to put your equipments onto your creature, but and that's fair. That's not bad. It's generally there to just stick on the battlefield and let Ishai one-shot people with commander damage, but people weren't playing single target removal, so didn't come into account very often. Study, Force, Sakashima, 1,000 Faces, and Spark Double. Also, I can copy Ishai. What's better than having a 1/1 flyer that gets bigger for every spell your opponents cast? Having 2 or 3 on the field. Archmage, Evacuation, Force, Inundate, Forager. I love Delve Whale. Delve Whale is super cool, letting me get back my control spells. Sphinx and Dig. That was the deck. So, like I said, pretty standard blue-white Voltron Control. Didn't have the greatest time playing it, but it wasn't terrible. Did win a few games, and it does give you that draw go kind of feel. I mean, you're going to be smacking them in the face with Ishai, but it does really have a draw go kind of feel. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts. Have a nice day.